So please welcome Christoph Burkhardt.
Good morning. Isn't this wild? To me, this is pretty crazy that we're pretty much the last generation that remembers how the world looked like before the internet, before we had smartphones. It's pretty wild because I remember vividly the first time I sent an email out. Do you remember that moment? And it got across the planet within seconds, and within minutes you got a response, and that just looked like magic. And today, when we look at Gen AI, it's pretty similar, a similar feeling that this is all magic that's coming. But the thing is, we've been here before. And I want to start here. Of course, this is not a fight of humans versus machines, but it's about the question of how we use machines to augment, to make better what we're already doing.
This is Connect the Dots, the AI Impact Podcast. I'm Christoph Burkhardt. Welcome to the show.
We got digitized. Now everything became digital, and now we're looking at cognification of the world. Now everything becomes smart, and machines learn to think. And they think with us, and they think about us, and they try to mimic us in all aspects of life. But really, these paradigm shifts cause the same fears, the same doubts every time, and they come with the same obstacles in implementation. So the question is, now that we're moving on to cognification, what is happening in the transport industry? What is happening with transportation when AI comes in and takes over in certain areas, and then maybe in certain areas we want it, but it doesn't work? This is how factories looked like before electrification came around. You know, this was pretty much a mess. It was hot because of the steam engines. The machines had to be super close together. You see these ropes that they're spinning the entire time because they're powering all the machines to move. This was dangerous, it was uncomfortable, and there were a lot of humans in very close areas, and there were lots of accidents. So many accidents. And then someone comes along and says, we're electrifying everything. That's gonna make everything better. And today someone's coming and saying we're cognifying everything. That's gonna make everything better. AI is gonna be so good for everything. And then what happens is that out of a sudden, you have certain factories that start electrifying, and they say, okay, we try this new thing. Even though, of course, if someone comes along and tells you, we put electricity everywhere, and at the same time you learn that electricity kills humans, and this is supposed to make things safer, and similar arguments you hear today about AI. Is AI gonna make things safer, or is it actually gonna be a threat? Are we gonna win that fight in, wait, we have to protect ourselves from fraud, but the fraudsters are using AI too? It's the same game that we're playing whenever we have new technologies. The next generation is not gonna remember that in factories we used to have workers, and we used to have non-electrified machines. Crazy idea. And we still remember, and that's going to be crazy too, we still remember that we had human drivers on the road. What a crazy idea. This is going to look like really crazy to people in 100 years. Like, how could you ever have a human drive a car? That is super dangerous. And the same way we look at factories today, it's like, no, we don't want people there. One, it's not safe, but two, it's super efficient. And for your entire industry, these are the questions. Like, what makes us safer and what makes us more efficient? How can AI help doing this? And the point is that right now we're seeing AI solutions everywhere that are just point solutions. They bring one aspect of AI to something that has not been cognified before, right? So they learn to talk. They learn to write for us. So we let them write. But we let them write essays, and essays have been invented so long ago that the concept of an essay has not changed yet. So the machine is just replacing one point. What we haven't seen, and this is how the factories changed, is when the entire system changes. And AI will cause entire industries to be turned upside down. We haven't seen this yet because the wave is just starting. And whenever humans get excited about a new technology, we have short-term and a hype where we will see the next 2-3 years, people overestimate everything that AI can do. And then it's going to get a little quieter, and then there's going to be the disruption driven by system changes. How we work, how an industry works, is going to shift completely because we can redesign the factory. We can redesign what the job is in a factory. And this is going to cause the disruption that we're all waiting for. A new technology comes around, we adapt. But the whole game is evolution. So evolution means it's the fittest idea that survives right now. It's the fittest, not the best. Whether we want smaller screens on smartphones tomorrow or we don't want smartphones at all, we don't know because we haven't gone through the door yet. But we will adapt to whatever comes, and evolution will pick the fittest solution for that moment. So whatever works right now, we will use. And the next generation has to figure out how to solve the problems that we caused. And somehow, in this game, we make progress. And here's a big statement, but I believe that AI will save us all. Because ultimately, the problems that we caused in the last generations that we have to fix today, we can't fix without AI anymore. We have caused problems that are too big for humans to solve. So now we need AI to solve those problems. One example is the amount of bad content that is uploaded to YouTube every day. These are millions, thousands, millions of hours of content. A lot of this should not be out there. 92% of the bad content that's being uploaded is being eliminated by AI. No human company would ever be in a position to filter that kind of content at the pace it's going. So we already depend on AI to save us in certain aspects, and we will depend on AI in other aspects too, because we created a world that we cannot manage as humans alone anymore. Now, wherever people are waiting, AI really makes a difference. And the problem is with that whenever we see possibilities where we can use AI, these possibilities someone will see as an opportunity, just like Amazon did. And now the big twist is the new possibilities and opportunities change the expectations of the customers. So if Amazon makes it possible for me to go through a store faster, I want that in every store. And out of a sudden, all the other stores have to do it too. If my delivery comes faster through Amazon than anyone else, I expect that from I want everything to be fast now. I don't want to wait for anything, anywhere. If your company is not using AI to make yourself faster, you're going to look like a company that still uses fax machines. The expectations of customers are changing incredibly fast. In moments where decisions have to be made under extreme uncertainty, in a world that's unpredictable, in that moment, we all make decisions that a machine can't make. The problem is, if we automate everything away from our own decision-making processes, because all the predictions, all the data management is not our job anymore, what is our job? Well, obviously, our jobs are going to shift towards jobs that require a lot more decision-making under uncertainty. We will make really hard decisions all day long, and we will solve problems that AI cannot solve. Everything else will be gone. We will look back and wish back the times where we had 2 or 3 hours and just copy-paste the data into an Excel sheet. Because that was actually not exhausting. That was annoying, but not as exhausting as complex problem solving and decision making is. Our jobs are going to get exhausting because AI is going to take everything that's easy. The decision, though, will always stay with us. And this is important. They're just predicting, we're deciding. AI is a tool. It's just a tool. And it's a great tool, and it's fun to look at, but it's a tool like this. And the problem is that reality looks more like this. So the tool is great, but it certainly will fail in most aspects. And this is the first time in history where we have tools that can be shaped to the reality we live in. But the reality is messy. If you want to shave ginger, this is not a great tool to use. And you can't change reality that easily, but we can change the tool. So the question is, how do you adapt the tool to the reality? And it will look like this in many cases for AI. And ultimately, the only thing we can do is explore the possibilities, look for the opportunities that we have, and understand that excitement around AI is right now approaching the peak. And this is the time where we create the most ambassadors for a technology. Because there will be a time when the excitement goes down, and this is where real disruption is going to happen. And this brings me back to the door that we all have to go through. And your job is to figure out how you want that to happen in transportation. And for that, I wish you all the best and good luck. Thank you so much.